Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Ronald, I'm from 360 Creators and I help companies with private consultations and trainings and among others with Webstudio to move forward in this. Now in this video I'm going to talk about how I'm actually just building very basic websites using Craft and the templates that are available within Webstudio. And I think it can be very useful for other people to see how I'm doing this kind of stuff and how the basic principles within Webstudio work and how to work with it basically. So let's dive into it. I got an empty project over here and I'm going to go to the marketplace pages and then I'm looking for Craft Style Guide. I select that, and the moment I click on this, it's going to change a lot of variables. So I set this, and now you can see that I have like another page specifically for this. And when I go back to the home page, you see that it's now a different color. So that is because within the style guide, all of these things, these variables, foreground, primary, secondary, accent, and all the stuff, this is all now set on mostly on the global root. So over here, the global root are basically is the place where all the variables are located, so you can use them over different pages. I'm not gonna dive too much into it. Right now I'm just gonna go to the bottom, and you see that there's template for new pages. So when I click in it, you see that the navigator changed, but I just need to have this page wrapper. So copy this page wrapper. Then I'm going to go back to the home and I paste this in here. Now within the page wrapper, you see that this means this is a navigation, main, and footer. Navigation and footer are purple, and so those are slots that you can reuse in different pages. And in main, it will have one section, but here we're going to have maybe 2 or 3 or 5 sections, depending how much we have. But this is more or less the basic structure that Webstudio is recommending to have in your projects. So what we'll be doing is we're first going to select the navigation and footer, which are going to appear on all the pages, and pick some templates. So let's see, we're going to select this nav and we're going to go to marketplace, then craft library, and then here we have 2 options for headers. I'm just going to go for the first one, and I'm going to go also for the footer right away. So here, see, I'm going to go for a very basic footer, this one, I think. Yeah. And I'm going to go back to the navigator. And so I want to have this header inside this nav. So put it over here, and I'll just remove this one. Done. Then I'm going to have this footer and put this within this footer slot. And I'm also going to remove this empty footer. And yeah, I'm going to remove build with Webstudio as well. And now what I have here is, okay, I got my nav, I got my main, I got my footer. So great. Now one of the very interesting things is when you replace something like the logo. Let's take another one. So here I've got a logo and I'm putting that in here, and it automatically puts the logo in 2 places here. And that is because, let's see, got this over here and this. We got logo link. So this means that within the nav slot and the footer slot, there is a logo link slot, and you can see it because it has this little icon over here. That's how you know that it's a slot. And this is the exact same slot over here. And that means that we're uploading a logo and it automatically is being used within the header as well as in the footer, which is pretty nice. And let me just show you what I kind of have in mind, because what I've built before and what I'm after. This is what I've built myself, so a digital legacy, and you can see I got my header here, I got some text, I still didn't replace this image, and over here I'm talking about a few of those things around digital legacy, what happens with your digital life, type of things to think about, and then here kind of things that I'm offering around that. Followed by some articles of a blog, and then a contact form, and then this footer again. And that's basically what I'm after to recreate here. So getting back to here, what I need to do here is I need to put this section hero within the main to keep things organized. So, okay, that's in there. I'll remove this empty section because I'm not planning to make my own stuff here. I'm just using templates here. And that's part number one. Now let's go to the other one. So we want to have something with features. So, okay, let's go to main, then marketplace, craft library. And down here we can say, okay, let's do features. Okay, I'm going to go for features 4. And now I can start really filling in those type of things. And automatically a lot of things are in its place, which is really awesome using this craft templates and all that. Because you see that this hero is automatically a H1 tag. And within the feature sections, this is automatically a H2 tag. This is just text. There's no headings. You could change that yourself if you like to. And so that's something I really like about using this. So without diving too much into all the content here, I'm just going to go to the next one. And the next one is diensten en producten. Before going into the next one, I want to show you that everything stays within a grid and is responsive by itself. So when we add in more features, you Command D to duplicate, and you see you can add as many as you want or remove them if you want to. And when we're making the screen smaller, you see that all these things go with itself. It's not perfect, but it gets very close to being really good. A lot of things have been thought about and are automatically going with it. So you see the graphic is still on these type of screens, and here the graphic disappears, and so on. So that's pretty nice. Also the hamburger menu. So you see over here, I already have a hamburger menu. This one, it still shows fully like that. And if you want to change the hamburger menu and you want to check the items in there, you can click on sheet overlay and change the items in here. So that's all pretty neat about using this template. When I get back, you just click out of the sheet overlay and we're back here. So great. Let's continue. So we have features now. The next one is products and services, or whatever you come up with yourself. I see that I still kept the section features outside the main. I'm going to put that in. Yeah, so moving this is sometimes a bit tough. I'm going to move it up first, and then I'm going to put this one off after that. All right, got that in order now. So we've got features now, and selecting the main, I'm going to add in a new item. So let's go for another features thing. This one, and we can call this products and services, right? And start filling this out. And here you can see all of this just nicely changes accordingly as well. Only with this one, I'm a little unsure about this Mark Mobile, what the idea behind that is, but I think maybe for an image or something, not sure. Okay, if you want to change the icons of all of these items, whether it's over here or this one, what I recommend doing is go to remixicon.com, search for something like a flag, for example. I click on this one, copy SVG, go back, and then in here, Command A, Command V, and I got my flag over here. But now you see that it's changing the flag everywhere, and we only want to change the flag within this particular item, not everywhere, right? So I'm going to Command C my way back. And what I'll do is I'll say Command D to duplicate the icon, and then I take this out of here. Then I remove this slot feature icon like this, and then I select the code again, paste the SVG, and this is still the same. Oh yeah, this was a slot within a slot, so this one is a little bit extra challenging. Let me see. Hold on one moment. I'm gonna go back first to this one, and later I'll show you how to actually do this over here. We're gonna go to this one. So here we see feature icon. We say Command D, take one out, remove this. Then over here, select everything, paste, and we change the icon, right? Now let's do this over here. Command D, take it out, move it, and then remix icon, we take something else. Let's take this flag. Okay. And note that all the colors and stuff will be changed within Webstudio. So you don't need to select the right color or anything like that. You see it turns white when we turn it into Webstudio, and it's pretty awesome. When you want to change the icon color of it, you can go to the font. And then over here you can either just type like this and then select a different color like blue or green. And then when you do the dash dash, you search by all the variables, and then you can select a type of green. So like this maybe, and now you've set this color to green. Now if you want to do this everywhere, I'm gonna just option click to return, select text icon. And I can do again green, and now the icons everywhere changed. So that's how that works within Webstudio to change those type of properties. The same with other type of properties. Right now I'm going to keep this the same, so I'm just gonna option click on it to return. And I'm going to show you now how to change the icons within this type of feature, because this one is a little bit extra challenging. So the idea here is that you first copy this large wrapper, take that out, remove this, then over here, this one, and then we copy this icon as well, take it out, and then remove this as well. And now we can go back to remix icon, say copy SVG, settings, and now we've changed this particular item. And note that it had to do with the slots that it was in. So sometimes you need to take something out of a slot to change it. So I hope that's clear. Yeah, let's say you would want to change the radius of this feature card. So we can go over here, style, and we can select the card. But note that it's going to change all the other cards as well, if you happen to have already more cards inside. Right now we don't, so I'm selecting this card, and then looking down over here, and I see radius 3. So now I can just say, make this radius 4. And all the cards change itself. You can make it radius 2, whatever you like. So let's make it 4. Let's change the color of the card. So right now, background. Yeah, it would not be a great idea to change that over here and change it because it's called background card. So actually, if you want to change this color, it's better to change the variable in this case. So we need to look up the background card variable. I go to global root, and then over here, background card, and then here we can see this color, and we can change this to something like maybe dark blue if you like that, and now you've changed the color on this variable background card so that all the other cards are going to have the same consistent color. So in this case, it'd be better to change the variable instead of changing a different variable, if you know what I mean. So, but you know, experiment with it, play with it, get familiar with it. That's my biggest advice here. And I just want to show you a little bit like how these ideas are all having its place. I'm gonna maybe something like this. All right. So yeah, and then you can start filling out all these products and services. You can maybe remove something over here. If you want to change the grid of this item, so maybe you want to have 2 items over here, right? Then we say features, click on grid. The idea here is that grid, this is just having display grid over here, but how many like things you have, that depends on your local mode over here, because you could have a grid with 4 and a grid with 5 and a grid with 2 or 1. So better not to change anything of this grid token, but to change it from this local style token. And then here we can see that template columns repeat 3. So maybe we want to make this 2, like so. And now this changes. Now, if you want to see what's going on with this big one, we can click on it, and I believe it's the span 2. Changing this to span 1. No, it's not. So what I do sometimes to like see what is the difference between these type of things, I just click on one feature and I look on the right side if anything turns blue, because if it does, then something is changing. You see that over here we have card selected. Okay, but it should be this local style. Okay, so now nothing changes. Now we start to see that in the advanced, these type of things start to appear. So I could probably just do this, say clear styles. And the only thing left over here to do is to remove this mobile thing, this whole footer. Okay, and now this item is also the same as the others. So I'm just doing all these type of things that you kind of understand. Okay, this is how all these things are structured and how to work with it. And the only thing that is different now is that this doesn't have an icon. So we can go over here, take this icon over here. It's in the body. So then we go over here as well, in the body, paste this on top. And now this is exactly the same type of card as all the others. All right. Let's go to the next item. We got some articles. So this is an interesting one because certain things work slightly different. Again, I need to move this into here. Got it. And it'd be nice to, this is section hero, but both are section features, but this might be explaining why something. So let's call this section Y, and maybe this is section, yeah, products, services. Whatever you come up with names, but just to have your own overview. Okay, yeah, this is this is that. Okay, cool. So go back to the main and add in a new item. So we go craft library, and we're going to search for articles. Okay, so there's 2 over here. I'm just going to go for the first one. And scrolling down, you see that the colors of the cards have this different color that we've changed because we've changed this variable in the style sheet, in the global root. So, okay, cool. Now, if you're going to try to change an image over here, and you're like, let's just go to settings, source, and click here, and now it changes everywhere. That's weird. Okay, I'll tell you, because this is something I've been trying to figure out myself. I'm going to Command C my way back. Oh. Yes, there we go. And basically this articles one is slightly different than all the others before, because this is using this, what do you call this again? Collection. Yeah. So, and in this collection, this is where there's data. So by default, you click on this, you see they added in some data over here. That's because these articles are better to get it from a source. So you want to pull the latest 3 articles from a CMS and put them in here. So in this case, if you want to change the single image, you need to change this within the articles instead of on the image itself. Because if you change it on the image itself, it will change it everywhere. Because when you look here, and I would say choose source one more time and do this. This is basically a sort of template for these, for this box within the collection is a template that works for how many items within the data list there are. In this data list, there are 3 items. If you look in here closely, it's maybe a bit hard to see all this kind of stuff, but let's say title. I'm going to search for title. This, and you'll see, okay, 1, 2, 3. So that's how I know there's 3 items within this data thing. So if you want to change the image within this part, then what you need to do is you need to go to articles. Let's start with the heading, and then click on this purple dot, and then in this heading we search for principles, and there you see everything between the quotation marks. So we can go over here and say awesome article, like so. And now we've changed this. Same goes with the image. If you find a URL or something, you can put the URL in there. That's it. Then the date, if you want to change this from 1st of February to 1st of May, then we change this to 5, and it changes to May. Now, that's pretty interesting, right? Because you're only having this ISO date formatted type of thing in the data, and it shows nicely May 1st, 1, 2024. So this formatting, how that works is when you click on this, you see that this is a different type of component. It's a date component. So if you search for date, I think, or time, yeah. Then you see, okay, you can bind the article item from the data. Let's see, that's already done in this template. If I do this again and I do the dot, I see all these suggestions over here, and I can select this date. So, okay, now I got this date. And here you can say, okay, I want to have this, well, based in the country, you can change that. Let's see, I'm in NL. Okay, I wish there was a type to do this, but I cannot. Okay, I'm just going to change it anyway. Not sure if this makes sense. Yeah, so based on the country, it will do a certain way of formatting this. You can say full, long, short, you can say none. So all of this stuff is just all being done for you. And I think these are a lot of awesome things about Webstudio and make it such a great thing to use. So this date formatting is working by itself out of the box. Now, if you really want to do this properly, then what you need to do is set up your CMS and work with some APIs. I've got some other videos that show you how to do this kind of stuff. And then you can get the latest 3 items from Baserow, for example, and put them in here. And then when a client is submitting a form in Baserow, writing a new article, then you can have it boom instantly on the Webstudio website, published and everything, without you doing extra things. So the client can just manage this completely himself. Those are all type of things that I think are really, really awesome, how quick this all works in Webstudio. But yeah, it takes a little bit of practice, you know, to get used to all these things and understand all these principles. But that's why I'm making this video, to think out loud, to show you, okay, how to change this, how to change that, like getting familiar with this type of stuff. If you don't want to do this kind of stuff, you could just, you know, take this article out of here, remove this articles thing, and just duplicate this. So if you really just want to upload these images, like so, you can do that too. But it's kind of missing a little bit the purpose of what makes Webstudio so awesome. Yeah, and then here we can say, okay, date time, move this, and let's say 2025, 1st of May, right? Okay, boom, done. So this is how you do it statically, but the other way is dynamically, and it's way more interesting, but yeah, it takes a bit of practice to do this kind of stuff, right? Cool. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so now you might want to add in some items, so you know that things turn like into pages. You can say, okay, let's have this as the home page. If you want to use this drop down, you select one of these items by just clicking on it, and then over here you'll see menu content. Click on it, and it shows you this. Now we see that we need to change the Z index of this so that it pops on top of everything else. So Z index, put this to 1, and I'll probably give this a background color too. I'll just do this very roughly like this. Better to just say background, and then say, okay, that's which one we're gonna go for. Let's go for this one. Cool. And maybe it shouldn't be this, maybe it should be, oh no, it's okay. Just need some radius here. So this one needs a little bit of tweaking. Yeah, it needs to be this one. And now we have this working as well, and then you can add the links here. If you want to click out of it, you just select something else, and that's it. Yeah, so right now I'm not going to get into this menu links. I'm just going to keep the menu really straightforward. So I'm just going to remove this whole menu item. We've got home page. If I want to create a new page, I could just go say create a new page like so. New page, create it, go back to the style guide, page wrapper, copy, go back, new page, paste, and you can see now I have my menu already in there, my footer in there with the logo, and I can just continue to move the section if I'm not going to do anything myself but use the templates, right? And I can just start doing this again with the craft library, and then selecting another hero, and there we go. That could be. Or what we could do is, I'm just going to remove this now and just say home, duplicate, change this to a new page, path, page, change some stuff over here if you need to, and maybe from here I can say, okay, well, what I'm going to use, no, the products and services I'm not going to use anymore. Explaining why, no, but the articles, yes. Okay, and then, you know, this way you can continue as well. So I like both, depends a little bit how I feel, but I want to show you the options you have in like creating multiple pages. Now that we've created the second page, what becomes interesting is to turn certain things into slots. So, for example, we want to show the articles again, but if I'm going to put in something in here, say great stuff to read, and I'm going to go back to the other homepage, you'll see that this is still lorem ipsum. So we need to turn it into a slot. So I'll go back to new page and say, okay, new section articles. Let's put this in here nicely. And then what I'll do is say components, slot, section articles inside the slot, rename this, call this section articles as well, the exact same. And now copy this, go back to the home page, and inside the main, I'm pasting this section articles. Okay. Now, this one I still needed to put inside nicely the main one. I keep forgetting that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now you see this one is not in the slot. We're going to remove that. And this one is in the slot. And we can see great stuff to read. So that's awesome. Cool block. Epic block article. And so now the great thing is we're making these changes here on the home page. We go back to the new page and everything's changed accordingly. So, you know, this is where you start to use these type of functionalities like slots and be like, hey, I understand how this works. Let's put this in a slot, or let's take it out of a slot, right? Same with the links over here. So I created this home page and I would like to show this link as well in the footer. So I could use a slot on the slot and say, okay, you know what? This menu list that's over here, let's turn this into a slot. So components, slot, and then let's say this menu list. Oh, menu list in the slot, yeah. Call this also menu list. Copy this. And then I'm gonna go over here. And here we got this list. Remove this. And paste this in. Okay. That didn't go so well. Let's try something else. I'm gonna take this out of the slot again. What I'm gonna try is I'm just gonna try one higher. So I'll just do slot again. And put the navigation menu inside here. Copy this, paste this. And this time it does actually work. Great. So now I'll say move this. And when we got home page, I'll just duplicate this. And I'll say, well, this is the new page. And homepage and new page now also shows up here. So, you know, we don't need to change it twice anymore. That's nice. However, we need to put in a little bit of space in between those. So what I'll do is I'll say link or is link enough. I think is link enough. Gap XS. I think this needs to be a bigger gap. Something gap and then okay. For some reason gap is not really doing anything here. Maybe this is not the way. I mean, but what I'd be doing probably is just adding a little bit of margin like here. Using size and setting something like this. Let's do 1 gram. It's probably not the proper way to do it, but works for me. Maybe this should not be on the islink nav, but on the local one. But yeah, for now I'm just gonna move on with this. So and now we got the home page. This is linking to nothing yet. Home right now. New page links to new page. Awesome. Yeah, let's do something. One more thing, and then I think it's good to end this tutorial, is to add the contact page. So let's call this contact and add a few places where people can also contact. In this case, I'm just gonna say new page, contact, create, style guide, page wrapper, copy, go back, contact, paste, boom. In the page wrapper main, I'm going to add in craft library. I'm just gonna search contact. Yeah, I like the CTA actually better, so I'm gonna go for this one. Okay. Questions? Feel free to ask. Something like that. Cool. Then section, gonna get into the main. This one gonna go away. And I got this one. Now, on the contact, I'll just link this to contact, done. And maybe I want to use this contact as well on the bottom of certain pages. So I'll just wrap this in the slot. Like so. Section contact. Copy, go back, home page. And on the bottom in the main, I just paste this. And now I have articles and then the contact here as well. And on the new page maybe as well. And the great thing is I don't even need to worry about emails and all that stuff, because when people are using this form, I'm automatically getting an email. One of the things that you might want to double check is project settings that you type in the contact email here. That's like, okay, this one. Yeah, might be useful to do that. But always you can check it, you can test this out. Yeah, to test it out you need to publish it actually, and then check on the publish page if it actually works out. And yeah, this is kind of like how I'm working with the craft library, using these templates, putting it all together. Hope this tutorial has been helpful. If you need some help with this kind of stuff, feel free to use the link in the description to schedule a session with me, and you can have a one-on-one session with me with recording and all that to learn more about Webstudio, ask these type of questions. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Have a great day. All right, bye bye.